Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is just going to be a very informal chit chat between you and I. I'm going to do my best to share just a few tips for new moms, things that I think might be helpful to help you survive this very stressful period as a new mom. I definitely don't have all the answers. You guys know I'm a hot mess. I'm figuring it out myself, but these are all things that I have tried to implement in my life to help me maintain an ounce of sanity. So if you like these kind of videos, if you like these chit chats with me, make sure to give this one a thumbs up. It helps my channel big time and tells me that you guys actually enjoy this. I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. Subscribe if you're new and let's get started. Just for some context, in case you guys are new around here, my name is Kayla. First of all, hello, welcome. I am a mom to two beautiful little humans. Both of them have been terrible sleepers, so I'm hoping to be able to share something about sleep with you guys in a second. My daughter Riley is 2, and then Jackson, my new baby boy, is almost 2 months old, so that's just kind of where we're at as far as how old they are. So I'm just gonna go right into it. My very first tip is to learn how to get stuff done around the house when your babies are awake. Not when they are asleep, okay? When they are awake. Learn how to get things done while there is craziness and there is chaos and your toddlers are crying. I say that because I think it's very easy, especially when you're a new mom, you've never been there before. It's very easy to think oh, don't worry, my baby's gonna nap, and then while my baby's napping, I can go do the dishes, I can fold laundry. At the very least, I'll get half an hour nap here and there, and then eventually the baby's gonna go to sleep, so I'll be able to do all my work once the baby sleeps. That might not happen, okay? It has definitely been my experience that not all babies sleep. There are some babies that suck at sleeping. There are some babies that suck at napping. If you rely on just their nap times or just their going to sleep times to get stuff done, you will never get anything done. That's when you find yourself really frustrated. That's when you find yourself just in tears because in the back of your brain you have a million things you need to do and your kid is not sleeping, and then you're frantic, your anxiety level is up through the roof. So let's not go there right away. One of the things that I really take a lot of time to try to perfect in some way, and that I focus a lot of attention on, is getting stuff done while everyone's awake. So that's great. It sounds wonderful, right? Learn how to do stuff when they're awake. How do you do that? You get freaking creative, okay? You use a baby carrier first and foremost. If you do not have a baby carrier, you need to buy one right away. I will link 2 of them that I highly recommend down below. One is a soft one is a more structured carrier. I've been using those both interchangeably non-stop since Jackson was born. It's the only way I get any work done. So have a baby carrier, okay? I have used a freaking baby carrier on the toilet, okay? I have been using the bathroom, going number 2 on the toilet with a baby carrier. It can be done, but you have to do that. Otherwise, you're gonna go crazy. I use a baby carrier or a bouncer. A portable baby bouncer is another thing that I highly recommend you guys have. They're not super expensive. Some of them are $30 bucks. I'll also link one that we use with Jackson down below. But while the baby's in the carrier, you can do things. You can toss a load of laundry to wash. You can also do dishes, right? There are things that you can do. Maybe you can't do everything with the tiny human strapped to your chest, but there are things that you can do. I edit all my videos while Jackson's in the carrier. I have him in the carrier and I'm working at the countertop of the kitchen at the edge. That's how I get any videos edited. It's not the most comfortable thing, right? I would much rather be sitting down at a desk or on my bed and editing my videos, but you kind of have to adapt to the current situation. My current situation is that for the most part, my child doesn't nap unless he's on me. So I have to do what I have to do if I want to get any work done. So Jackson's in the carrier. What about Riley? What if you have a toddler and you have a toddler who's getting into a bunch of things, right? How do you get stuff done when she's awake? I try to find ways to restrain my daughter, okay? So if there's something that I need to get done, so if I need to vacuum, for example, if I need to vacuum the family room, what can I do with Riley to get her to not be in that area? So I can pick her up and I can put her in her high chair. And so I'll put Riley in her high chair. I'll have coloring books. I will entertain her with stickers or something. But a high chair is a great place to put your child so that you can get some stuff done around the house. The bathtub is also a great place to put your child. Do not put your child in a bathtub with water unsupervised. That is not okay. But there were plenty of times with Riley when she was even smaller where I had to get ready for the day. I wanted to be in my master bathroom. I wanted to curl my hair or something, and Riley would be in the bathroom with me. If I left her on the floor, she would get into all the cabinets. She would start making a mess. So what would I do? I would put her in my bathtub. I would put some toys in there, and she was at least confined to a space where I knew she wasn't going to be crawling all over the place. She wasn't going to be getting into things. So that's what I mean by getting creative, right? You kind of have to think outside the box, kind of figure out what is it that you need to do. Obviously, there are some things that can only be done when your babies are asleep. So you kind of prioritize those things for when the babies are sleeping, but you'll be surprised how much you can actually get done when your babies are awake. So that is my #1 tip, and I spend a lot of time talking about it because I think it is important, because one of the most frequently asked questions I get asked by new moms is, how do you find time to get stuff done? When do you clean? When do you cook? How do you find time to do anything? How do you get a moment to yourself? You definitely don't get a moment to yourself ever until you die, but at least you can find ways to do some other stuff. My second tip for new moms is to find ways to entertain yourself. What do I mean by that? That sounds so random and stupid. There are gonna be a lot of times when you're doing stuff that you may not want to be doing. For me, it is rocking my child to sleep. I do not like rocking him, right? I do not like spending 30 minutes rocking him around the house, trying to get him to fall asleep. To me, I'm like, I want to be doing something else. This is boring. Like me just rocking a child and watching his eyeballs close. I mean, yeah, there's some days where I'm like, oh, he's so beautiful, he's so cute. But there's other days that I'm like, oh my God, like I really don't want to do this. I honestly just, I feel like I'm wasting my time. I want to do something else. So in those times now, what I do is when I know that I have to rock him to sleep, I will take my wireless earpods, AirPods, whatever, the earbuds, I'll put them in my ear and I'll turn on a podcast or I'll turn on a video and I will be listening to it while I'm rocking Jackson to sleep. I feel like when I do that, I have a lot more patience with him, and that's one of the things that you just need as a parent, as a mom. You need patience, and I'm the first one to admit that I have very little patience, very little patience. Now, instead of like rocking him around the house and going like, oh my God, please, can you hurry? Like this is taking forever. I'm so bored at freaking rocking you. Like I'm now entertained, right? I'm listening to my podcast. I'm doing something that I enjoy doing while also rocking my child to sleep. So it's definitely in your favor if you can learn to do that, learn how to kind of multitask, because I do believe that it's important for you to focus on how you are feeling as a mom, not just like how your baby's feeling. Which leads me to my next tip, which is really just about making sure that you are in a good mental state. If what I just said about rocking your kid to sleep and you being entertained and all of that, if that sounds selfish to you, I get it, but I think that it's something that's important. I think that you need to focus on things that make you happy and things that are gonna make it easier for you to be a mom. At the end of the day, if you're a mom that is happier and if you're a mom that has more patience, then you're gonna be able to take care of your kid better. And I said this on Instagram the other day. I feel like when you have a baby, everything is about the baby. What do you need for the baby? You need to buy all this stuff for the baby. How's the baby doing? You go to the doctor a million times, you take your baby in. But there also has to be a focus on you as a mom. So I hope that if there's anything that you take out of this video, tips for new moms, focus on yourself a little bit, okay? Focus on how you're feeling mentally, where are you at? And if for any reason you feel like you're in a bad place, try to ask yourself if there's anything that you can do that'll get you to a better place. Mentally, physically, it's important. So if you need to get help, if you need to talk to somebody, there's no shame in that whatsoever. There is no shame in asking for help. But make sure that in addition to asking the question of how's the baby doing, ask, how are you doing? How is mom doing? Because it's just as important, if not more important, because you need to be able to take care of your kid. By the way, I don't have a script for this video, so I know that I'm rambling. I know that I'm just like saying stuff off the top of my head, but that's how I do all of my videos, you guys. Like, this is me being real, talking to you guys like you are my girlfriends. Like, if my girlfriend came to me and said, hey, I am pregnant, I am a new mom, what advice do you have? This is the stuff that I would tell her. But if you do want a little bit more structure, I am gonna leave a link down to a blog post that I wrote years ago when I first had Riley. And if you guys don't know that, I do have a blog, so you guys can go check out that article. It's exactly about this, tips for new moms, how to survive the first 3 months. And there are some things in there that are maybe a little bit better explained than how I'm explaining it in this video, so definitely go check that out once you're done with this video. I guess the next thing that I would say is a tip for a new mom is something that I kind of already covered in my Q&A video, which I'm pretty sure is already up, but it's to get good at improvising. If you're the kind of person that like everything has to be done a certain way, like you have to have a routine for everything and things have to be done at a certain time and they have to be done at that time all the time, like if that's how your brain functions, you're probably gonna struggle as a mom because that is not how motherhood is like at all. When it comes to parenting and being a mom to a tiny human, your #1 goal is just to keep that baby alive, okay? You need to make sure your baby is fed and not harmed. Like, that's really all that you need to be focused on. Like, exactly how that happens, it's gonna change every day. So if you want to stay somewhat sane, you need to let go of the expectations, let go of like the strict guidelines and like exactly how things have to be done. I think that's one of the reasons why my husband Joe has a hard time every time that we bring like a newborn into the home. He was the same way with Riley. Joe is a Virgo, okay? He is very much a planner, likes things done his way, his way is the right way. And all of that goes out the window when you have a newborn. I am much more like go with the flow. I can adapt for the most part pretty well to different circumstances, and I think that's what keeps me going. I think it's good to have something to work towards or as a guideline, right? Like all these routine videos that you see here on YouTube, I think they're great to kind of, I don't know, just give you an idea of what you would like things to look like or what things should maybe look like. But there are not gonna ever be like 2 days that are the same in your life ever, okay? Every day is gonna have some kind of challenge. There's gonna be some kind of issue. So I think that the more flexible you are in like how things get done and like the order that things get done, the time that things get done, I feel like you're just gonna be in a better mental place, if that makes any sense. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have any rules. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a schedule that you try to stick to. I'm a big believer in having some kind of schedule that you kind of follow, but it's gotta be like loosely followed, at least in my opinion, because if you try to be so strict when the babies are brand new, like they're adjusting to life, okay? And so are you as a mom. So just be a little lenient in that sense and learn how to improvise. Learn how to do things different ways every day. I think that if you do that, you're just gonna be overall a lot happier. Another tip for new moms is something that I'm sure you guys hear a lot, which is to interact with other moms. Like find a way to have a community, find a way to interact with other parents. Especially as a stay-at-home mom, it can be very lonely. It can be a very lonely gig if you're just at home, stuck in the four walls of your house and you don't get out much and you're just talking to a newborn who can't talk back to you. Like it can be a lonely thing, especially like if you're the kind of mom who has been working her whole life and then you stay home to stay with your baby. Like I was like that. I had a bunch of jobs before I stayed home with Riley. So that was like a big adjustment for me, because even though I hated work, like I hated actually going to work and listening to a boss and all of that, like I did miss the social aspect of going to work. I had a lot of friends at work and we would laugh and we would eat lunch together, and so I did get that social like need filled through work. So I do think that it's important as new moms to still have some kind of community. And I know that it's hard to make friends at this age, right? Like I'm not the only person that feels that way, I'm sure. Like it's hard. It's almost like dating and you're awkward and you don't really know how to approach someone and say, hey, like can we be friends? Like that's weird. But I think that it's important that we kind of move past some of that like awkwardness and find groups within your town, within where you live, in your church. Try to find ways to connect with other moms. For me, this community here, like that's why I do this, right? Like so that I have other moms that I can talk to and that I can relate to. The fact that I can go to Instagram every day and I can DM you guys and chat with you guys and share what I'm going through and post on Insta stories. Like yesterday, Riley was taking her nap and she took off her diaper, and like those are the things that I can share with you guys. And I was like losing my mind because I was on the couch with Jackson. Like the fact that I can go on and I can show you that and we can laugh about it, like that for me mentally does a lot. So I think that it's important that even if it's on Instagram, even if it's on social media, that you find a group of women that you can talk to and that you can just share your life with and you can get feedback from, because I know that we need it. Like I am, surprisingly, like you guys may not believe it, but I am very introverted at times. In my everyday real life, I don't have like a million friends that I hang out with. Like I have a handful of friends. I'm not the kind of person that's always at a party, always at a place. Like I'm really at my house like almost all my life, but I do have a need to connect with other people. So find whatever works for you, but make an effort to do it, okay? Because otherwise it can be very lonely, and I think that it's important. On that note, I do think that what a lot of people say is true as far as like a tip for new moms is to get out of the house. I feel like I'm the worst person to be sharing this tip with you guys because like I just said, I hardly ever leave my house, okay? I have a lot of anxiety about going places and going places with my kids, but I do promise you that you do feel better when you leave the house. I'm not saying that you have to be like out running errands every day. Like I don't do that. I don't find a need to go to Starbucks every single day or load up my car with the kids and go to Target every other day. Like that's just not me, and that doesn't have to be you either. But even if it's like once a week or once every 2 weeks, like find something to do that gets you out of the house. Even if it's just driving to freaking Walmart for grocery pickup, you don't even get out of your car. Just being outside, just seeing the sky, like I don't know how else to say it, just being out of the house does wonders. For me, I absolutely love being outside, being in nature, and that's like one of the reasons why I'm really excited for our new house in Virginia, because we have a huge backyard. We're planning on building a deck out there, so my goal is to be out there whenever the weather is good, just hanging out, having a cup of coffee outside. I think just changing your environment is important and it's helpful. Believe me, I know what it's like to be in my house and not leave my home for like 3-4 days at a time. Like, I've been there, and my mental state again is one where like I can deal with it. I can see how easy it would be for anyone to really fall into a depression or to just be not in a good headspace being home all day long, especially with like a fussy baby or something like that. So do find a way to get out of the house. I know that it's hard. I know that it's a pain in the butt with a kid. And in my opinion, sometimes it is easier just to stay home. But I think that it does wonders for you as a person to just get outside. All right, so at this point, I feel like I've been talking forever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and end it here. I feel like I do have more to say on this topic. So if you want me to do a part 2 and share more tips, let me know down below. I also wanna encourage you guys, if you have any tips of your own, things that you have found helpful as a new mom, just leave them down below in the comments. That way, if somebody stumbles on this video and they wanna read through the comments, like there's stuff in there that is helpful, because we are a community. It's not just me talking, okay, like to a camera. So help a mama out. I love reading through those comments. You guys are just the best. So I just want to thank you guys so much for watching and interacting with me. Being a mom is difficult. It's the hardest job that you will ever do, but it is so rewarding, and it's great that there are a lot of us who are blessed with a community of people that support us and encourage us. So I just want to thank you guys so much for that. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.